Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to be reviewing the 2020 LEGO Star Wars TIE Fighter set. This goes for about $30 and has 432 pieces. Now, the general outlook of this thing is pretty good, so actually both wings are the same. They've got a nice little bit of shaping here, as you can see. These handlebar pieces are curved slightly to make it look more like a circle. I really like that detail. I wish they had used the wedges over here in just bigger style of pieces. They could have easily used the one that was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studs. They could have used the one that was 8 studs long instead of the one that was 6 studs long. Of course, I understand that they wanted more detailing, but still, this could have saved a little bit of money. Now, this has two spring-loaded shooters, which are actually pretty nice. They go pretty far. LEGO's definitely improved on the spring-load missile shooter. I don't know if it's a factory thing or if it's just my imagination, but they're going further than they used to, in my opinion at least. Now the wings actually detach pretty easily. They're only connected by three pegs. Now, they're kind of hard to get on sometimes, especially since they can be attached in multiple ways, like this. So it's kind of hard to get it perfectly, especially if you're not looking at it the right way. But it works. So the cockpit actually unfolds pretty nicely. Sorry for that lighting there. Let me adjust that. So if you push this down and pull this up, there's actually room for one figure in here. I will use the TIE Fighter pilot. There's also a couple of red lights above the TIE Fighter pilot, which is a nice little inclusion. So you just close that up, and you have a minifigure that sits in there perfectly. The back of the TIE Fighter isn't so pretty. We've got a really weird booster right here, and two thrusters. Now, the thrusters are where they're supposed to be, but I can't tell if this is a booster or a window or what, but it doesn't really look that great, in my opinion. Now, you've got these stud shooters missiles right here, and they go back a little bit too far. I mean, it's perfect if you're trying to get your fingers in there, but if you're trying to display this, it really just doesn't look that great. Now, honestly, I'm not a fan of the stud shooters or the spring-loaded shooters or the Technic missiles, but I understand that there are people that do like them, and I'm willing to respect that. But I just think they should be a little bit less obnoxious about them, not putting them in some big, bright area with a red lever that uses to shoot them off. Of course, I do understand that there are people that like that, and to a kid that doesn't know a lot about the LEGO set, that could be potentially appealing. Now, another thing that bothers me are these things right here. They could have easily recolored that piece for just a little bit more money, and I do understand why they didn't, because recoloring pieces is expensive. However, it also makes the whole thing just kind of fall apart, in my opinion, especially since there's no way to substitute it for another piece. But again, it's easy to get past that if you're a kid or are just starting to be a collector. Now, the minifigure selection here is pretty good, in my opinion. The TIE Fighter pilot has actually a new mold, and come on, focus, there we go. And if you take the helmet off, actually has a more neutral expression instead of the standard angry clone screaming face. Now, the back is nothing special, just kind of blank, but that's fine. I mean, you're not going to be looking at the back either way. But while this is accurate, I don't really like the fact that it's open at the back, because if the pilot were just to get shot out into space, he wouldn't be able to survive whatsoever, and there would, because of the temperature, and there would be no point for these breathing tubes right here. Now, The third figure and the second figure are ones that we've seen before, but it's still nice to be getting them again. The Stormtrooper is nothing new, of course, but the droid right here has a little bit of a nicer finish because of the new plastic that LEGO's been using. Although the printing in the mold is still the same, I still think it's nice to be included, especially since we don't see a lot of Imperial droids lately. It's good to be getting them again. And that was my review of the 2020 TIE Fighter. Thanks for watching. Have